Travis Brown, horror movies uncut, submissions and slashers. There is a bunch of films that we've been talking about from Fantastic Fest and also Beyond Fest, but I got the chance to get one of the shorts that was playing in the block at Beyond Fest right before Fantastic Fest. That's a mouthful. And what that short was the short from Sam Fox, The Blue Diamond. Now you might be saying, why have we heard about this? Because I've been covering it on the website for the last couple weeks, and now we have tracked down Sam Fox to talk about the Blue Diamond. So first and foremost, how are you doing today, Sam? So great to see you.
So great to see you too. Hello and thank you for having me. Sorry, I've been hard to track down. Being the head of a après-ski cult can be time consuming. Um,
Yes,
but
and we're go ahead.
I'm great. I'm actually in the Blue Diamond headquarters up here in Arrowhead.
Okay,
Uh, yeah, so in the chalet, as you may say,
okay.
up in the woods, and I'm actually up here writing the feature version of the Blue Diamond.
Oh,
So
wait
I've
a
been like
minute, hold
fully,
up, wait a minute. Let me get some exclusives in it. Let's go.
yeah,
Do
I'm
people
like
know?
I'm
Do people know you're doing this? Do people know you're turning it into a feature?
there's been some chatter, where we're slowly spreading the word, letting it
Okay.
fester and
Okay.
grow and infect.
Well,
Um,
I am Uncle Fester, and I will be growing this news later today. like, like, there's a feature coming, people. Like, let's go.
I mean, it's what the world needs is
Yes.
more skiing and more ski horror, to be honest.
So you have no idea how excited I am to talk to you about this short because I actually like I'm not gonna ask your age because I was raised by a black mama. I know better than to ask a woman about her age, but I'm old, okay? And I grew up during that Cinemax late night ski movie, hot dog in the movie, ski school, even the like PG-13 stuff, Better Off Dead. Like that's my childhood growing up with these
Wow.
ski movies. So when I saw that someone was making a short about this demented ski cult that also gave this wonderful throwback to this time period where these movies were very popular. Where did you get this introduction to these ski films from?
I'm impressed. You know your
Oh,
your 80s
I
ski
am
films.
like you were talking to a kid that watched way more Cinemax than he was supposed to. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I'm very impressed. So, it kind of all started as a happenstance. Desiree Staples, the lead actress, my producing partner, and kind of everything, and I were touring fucking nuts, my last film, and it
Yeah.
was our third film touring on the genre festival circuit, and we were at Film Quest in Provo, Utah, at the end of our rope, and we just started lamenting the fact that like we were going to be doing this insane world of genre horror festivals for 2024 and what that means. Um, and right there on the spot, she kind of said, "Well, you've never directed me, and I've always wanted to." And I'm
Mhm.
like, "Okay, let's make it happen." And I asked her, I said the first thing that we always need to like is a location. I can
Right.
build an idea off of a location. And she mentioned that she had a family connect to a cabin up in the mountains around here, in like Big Bear area.
Hmm.
And within I think 10 minutes, I was like, I got it. So the location definitely defined what our story was going to be about. But I also always wanted to make a film about a members only club and the strange
Yeah.
dynamics and
Yeah.
mentality that happens
Rich,
within them.
strange white people shit. Like I'm all for it. Like it's so great.
Yeah, horror and members only. It's just
Yeah.
they're meant for each other. And then, of course, there is this mentality within the ski culture of like, do you ski? Oh, you
Hmm.
don't ski?
Hmm.
You're not worthy.
Hmm.
And it kind of just perfectly the idea landed in my lap and brought in my experience of being the child of a narcissist father and how that's kind of affected it with myself with imposter syndrome and all of that. And voila, the
Yeah.
blue diamond Born.
The Blue Diamond is Born. And it's so crazy. So did you watch some of these films of some of the stuff that I was naming? Did you check out
Of course.
some of these? Yeah. And what were some of your, okay, as a very strong-minded, independent lady, stand-up woman that you are, right? I am so curious when I see my women of today watch these films that I grew up watching. What was your initial thoughts when you saw a film like Ski School or Hot Dogging or something like that?
I don't want to make these movies. It was really good because I watched it for inspiration on like costume production design,
Yes. Yes.
world building, all of that.
Yes.
My takeaway was this is definitely not the film I want to make, but
Right.
this informed me as to the setting of the film I'm making because I grew up, I'm from Los Angeles. I would, ski and snowboard in the winter, but I stopped pretty early on because I'm like, this is exhausting. And it like
This takes
you only
work.
go, yeah, it takes work. It's like so
You
expensive
got
and
to
you gotta
get
get
the
all this
boots.
gear.
You got to get on, you got to get tickets and get on that thing and climb up there. And then there's like very mean kids on Bear Mountain. I used to deal with those kids on Big Bear yelling at me all the
Yeah,
time. Get
it's
out of the way.
it's amazing, but it is a lot of effort. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I had to definitely draw some inspiration from other places to learn what I'm talking about, especially learn the lingo. Uh,
Hmm.
and I got a lot out of the Warren Miller videos just because just the way that the people talk, but I also didn't want them to be ski bums. I wanted to kind of bring in this type of ski culture where it's like they're the higher echelon because it is this like very exclusive ski club. So they don't
Yeah.
go to, some of the California mountains. They go
Right.
to the Alpine,
Right.
like,
Right.
Swiss resorts like
Right.
Gstaad and
Yeah.
Zermatt. And it was really fun when we were trying to bring like a crappy version of high echelon ski culture to these people who are like they tried to do it but they didn't do it right, so the
Hmm.
cheese display that you see, it's like
Hmm.
just badly done.
Yeah.
uh
It's so great though. It's so great.
Yeah, those to me, those fine details are what I have the most fun with because it's like the collaboration with the production design team of like, what is the intention here? And then we can build from there. And that to me is the best part of directing is the intent and storytelling.
Well, and you guys do a great job because, like I said, I grew up on these films, and even those little small details of how the characters are interacting with each other, the like homoerotic feel that you normally see within the male characters, even though they're supposed to be like the men of the men, like it's always something that you would find in these films, and you really captured it. But the craziest thing that I thought you captured, and I'm not gonna lie, I was even like Shazamming, like, what song is this? There's a part in the short for those of you who've not seen it yet. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's awesome and it's got some great music to it. And I'm like, where did this music come from? Did you guys have a friend compose this? Did you find this from somewhere? Because it's so spot on. Like, I'm a retro wave head still to this day because of these films back in this time period. So, where did you get the music from?
It's funny that that stood out to you because that was a hard one for me of um I normally don't like to work with like traditional composers because
Hmm.
I want something that sounds different than traditional score. And so the dance music track was composed by with Dylan Dawkins, who he did also our Blue Diamond retro logo artwork.
Okay.
And so he did the dance music scene. And then for the rest of the score, I was like, how do I capture this cheesy, loungy kind of 70s, 80s, like wrong music?
Yeah.
And I have a friend named Runa who lives in like where the Northern Lights are in Norway.
Okay.
And I mean, working with him was so interesting because he had never seen an invoice before. He'd never signed a contract before. I had to teach him to do like the PDF filler on the computer because he lives in this wonderland of like
Yes.
this Norwegian, like it's
Probably
where
got
the
great coffee
deer,
up there.
yeah, like it's where the deer eat the mushrooms and like
Oh, okay.
the
Yes,
history
yes,
of like
yes.
Santa and his reindeer flying through the sky came from.
Right.
And he can make any music you ask for. And I kind of described what I wanted. Daniel Lopatin was also like great inspiration for some of the stuff that's more score driven.
Hmm.
But then also creating that like the tracks that he created, they're all original tracks, and it's like you don't hear that
No,
music.
I was looking
But
for it. I'm like, wait a minute, this is not on one of my playlists. What is this?
yeah, I'm really glad you picked up on it because it
Yeah,
was
for sure.
definitely really fun honing in on that sound and watching him. The instrument he was using, I think it's called a kavar or
Yeah,
kvar. Yeah, a
I've seen
really
one.
strange instrument that I've never.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, you
how he
got
did it.
crazy YouTube videos if you go down a rabbit hole looking at those instruments for sure.
Yeah.
So look, Sam, I could really talk to you so much more about this because like I said, this short just spoke to my childhood, but do have to let you go, but I'm gonna let you go with this two-part question for you to answer. First and foremost, what's something you hope people take away after seeing the Blue Diamond based off the great performances by Barbara, everybody else that's involved? And then also, what's something that we could possibly look forward to with the feature version of the Blue Diamond?
Okay, I'll save that one for last because that's the more fun one.
Right.
But as far as takeaway, with my films, I always try and, intertwine a world of my personal trauma, which is where the like heart of the story always is in my
Hmm.
films. And then my delusional brain, which is where the colors and the set design and the sound all come in. And the purpose of the two, well, not the purpose, it just so happens that that's what I make. But what I've drawn from it is that there's the entertainment and the lightness and the fun of a Foxy film, which is all that um, atmosphere
Yeah.
and the vibe and the tone, horror,
Yeah.
comedy, and
I
just
love
weird.
that you have your own genre with it too. Like that's super sweet. It's like you can tell like it's a Foxy production, it's a Foxy film. Like that's great.
It's basically it's encapsulating me, but always trying to have, yeah, a heart to it because
Hmm.
otherwise it's just abstract. And the heart is the damage that having, a malignant narcissist or any parent or relationship of someone who you can just never please and you're never good enough, and how that damage will stay no matter how much. And I've done all the therapy. I
Yeah.
have learned that these parts of me are going to be part of me forever,
Yes.
and I have to do my art in order to give it purpose.
Yes.
um,
Embrace the weird. 100%.
yeah, exactly. And it's made me a better artist because
Hmm.
I can never live up to what I want to create. So I just
Hmm.
got to keep creating. Which is why, to segue, I'm creating the feature. We have so much more story to tell.
Hmm.
Why doesn't Allison ski?
Yeah.
That's going to be
Yes. I'm ready
the
for
prologue
little
of the
kid
film,
flashbacks.
which takes place in 1989, and you
Yes.
find out
Yes. Let's go.
why
Yeah.
Allison doesn't ski. Those tentacles at the end, what the hell are those about? So we get to, build into this kind of
Hmm.
very creepy, slow build sci-fi horror of basically a kind of alien monster film.
That's awesome.
And then also a daughter trying to reconcile the loss of a mother figure and meshing those two. And it's going to be creepy and fun, and we just get to expand, which is
Yeah.
the hardest part about making a short. Is it's like, how can I do a snippet but also tell a story?
Hmm.
So yeah, keep an eye out. We're trying to
Yeah, I
get it
know. I'm
done.
looking forward to it. I'm hoping the whole entire Blue Diamond universe gets started. We see kids with like stone washed jackets with patches on them, and all of a sudden we got like pink Thunderbird T-tops driving around all over the place. It is a lot that can come out of that. So I'm very, very much looking forward to what's coming up with the feature version of the Blue Diamond. But Sam, thank you so much for your time. The only thing that I ask is make a soundtrack. Make a soundtrack for that movie and put it out. Put
Okay,
it out.
well, we're selling merch and stuff, so we are
Great.
building the universe. So we will have all of that. Right now you can grab a hat, pins are coming, long sleeve shirts, and of
Get
course,
it.
in your honor, a soundtrack.
That's right. That's awesome. Okay. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for your time, Sam. Best of luck with everything in the Blue Diamond universe and everything in Foxy Films land as well.
Thank you, you too, and thank you for having us.
You're welcome.